Wrestling fans, if you like what you've seen, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also don't forget to ring that bell.
Shooting it straight with your old pal Rudy right here on International Bigtime Wrestling and RoX-TV. Once again, it gives me great pleasure to introduce someone who is a very big part of Rudy Hill's history in professional wrestling. A man that many, many years ago, I stepped into the ring with for the very first time. It was my very first match, and it was in Toledo, Ohio. And here was a guy who basically, from that point on, was nothing more than a friend, someone who was a mentor, someone who I look up to, even to this day. He was known as Andy Fish, but he's the one and only Andy Chene from International Bigtime Wrestling, and he's here. What's happening? How you doing, Andy?
It's always a pleasure. And you said it was your first match. It was like I don't remember the match well, but I remember what Dr. Graham said to me afterwards. It was probably my 8th, 9th match. So you know it was spectacular. So I remember coming back. Graham wanted some stuff done, and he goes to me, he goes, "Well, that was a wrestling match." God bless him.
So, how did you get involved in professional wrestling?
So, I was actually playing football at Eastern Michigan University. They wanted me to put on weight, and as you know, I was a small guy.
You were.
I always had issue getting on the weight, and they cut me because I couldn't get the weight on they wanted. And I joined the wrestling team for just a short time, and I had the opposite problem. I weighed 185, 90 pounds at the time. There was a time when a 190-pound guy they didn't want in wrestling, as you all know. I remember the coach saying to me, he goes, "Wow, you really wrestle well. You'd make an amazing 145-pounder." Well, yeah. Bless America, I was not that big at 190 pounds comparatively. I did not have that much weight to give away, and it's like, no. And I happened to meet George Cannon, George Crybaby Cannon.
Sure.
And
legend.
And he didn't look like George because he had the throat cancer, and he dropped literally. He was 175 pounds when I met him.
I remember.
And so I remember
days.
Big George. George was a monster, and we got talking, and he goes, he liked how I talked because I didn't know it was him, so I'm just freaking rambling. And he goes, we should try doing some wrestling. I want to get you trained. So they took me down to meet Dr. Jerry Graham.
Okay.
And I was originally trained by George Crybaby Cannon, Dr. Jerry Graham, and the Great Wojo.
Wow.
And a little different than it is now, as we had talked about many times.
Sure.
Dr. Graham was I'm going to teach you how to work. There's this, that, and the other thing, but we want to be able to do a lot of shows during the week, so we're going to be professional about this. We're not going to hurt people. And then Wojo would do a little of that, but then I'd start just shooting with Wojo, which was a brutal moment because, of course, Wojo...
He's one of the greatest of all time.
Oh, yeah. So, Wojo, God bless, I love Wojo to death because you'd be shooting with him, rolling with him, we call it, and I'd get a little better, and he'd go, and he means this genuinely, God bless him, he'd be like, "Well, you're getting better, Andy," which was code for, in about 3 seconds, I'm going to see the back of my thighs from the other direction. And it's like, oh, and then he'd be like, "What's wrong?" Because I know what's coming. He's so far ahead.
Sure.
And then after I get done with that, George Cannon would take me and just, whatever we did, he'd do the exact same thing, but shoot on it. And he'd choke the hell out of me, and he'd grab my hair and pull my hair, and he'd literally rake into my eyes. He's like, "Yeah, some guys do that, but this is the way it's done." And that went on like that. I was just getting the kicked out of me by George. About 2 weeks till Dr. Graham realized what he was doing. And when he realized what, Graham goes, okay, he's going to be here. You don't have to worry about this. He stayed through all that.
Right.
And then I actually started getting tripped.
Right. Well, that's how it was back then.
And I was being trained on a wrestling mat on a concrete floor. So after a little bit about that, God bless Denny Cassie, took me down to meet Al Snow in Lima.
Sure.
And Al, with a ring, God bless him, taught me how to bump.
Yeah.
A little better. So it's cleaned up my bumping.
So how long you been in wrestling now?
30 years.
30 years.
Good Lord, yes.
30 years.
Yes. I got boots as old as some of the guys we've been wrestling.
Let me ask you this. You and I, we crossed paths in MTW,
Yep.
Midwest Territorial. I remember you were really good friends with Bobo Brazil Jr.
Yes.
Still
Calypso.
good friends.
Oh, yeah. Talk to him every week. Talk to Graham every week. And it was real neat because also I got in with Bobo Brazil.
Yes.
Actually, at that time, too. Jim and I both took him to his Hall of Fame induction in Baltimore for the WWE.
Wow.
I drove from Brooklyn, Michigan, where I live.
Yeah.
Drove to Benton Harbor, Michigan, picked him up, then went from Benton Harbor to Baltimore
Back.
with first-class plane tickets in my pocket. Vince McMahon sent me first-class plane tickets. Bobo goes, I want to take one more ride with the boys. What are you going to do?
Wow, right.
So we took one more ride with the
Right,
boys. And
there you go.
not to get really, I don't want to get too weird with this, but I remember driving, and we're about at Cleveland at this time, and I'm like, because I don't, I'm waiting for Bobo to say something, and I'm like, Jim, Bo, I'm sorry, I got pulled over. I got hit the head. And he's like, hey, he had a 2-liter. He was filling with empty this while you're in there. I'm like, oh, I'm dying. Why didn't you tell me? I could have stopped 100 miles back there. Freaking, my teeth are floating. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, but went there. They were great there. They took the tickets. They paid me off for gas and everything. I remember Bo steps out and he's got this from the 1970s, this beautiful denim suit with the collar down to here. And I remember Vince McMahon stepping in the door and going, oh, hang on. And he's like, what, man? You know how much with this? And he's like, I'm glad my guys come up. We're going to fit you with, how about a nice white suit? It'll be beautiful. You'll stand out from it. He's like, well, okay. And he got him out of that denim suit. It was denim patchwork. And I literally had, and Bobo was a big boy.
He was.
6'6", 6'7", he was huge. Yeah. But the collar was as tall as I was.
Oh, my God.
It came all the way down here. And he's like, and McMahon's just like, oh, hey, that's awesome, but we need to get you in a regular tux.
So you've had 30 years experience. What are some of those highs of your career?
Oh,
some of the guys that you were in the ring and said, Jesus, I can't even believe I'm in the ring with this guy.
Oh, I used to do enhancement for the WWE. I've been in the ring with Davey Boy Smith. I've been in the ring with Jim Neidhart. I've actually beat Jim Neidhart, God bless him. Rest his soul. Same thing with Davey.
Yes.
I've had the absolute crap kicked out of me by the entire Hart Foundation and Brian Pillman. You were there, my friend.
Yes.
I've done 30 minutes with Tito Santana.
Nice.
Amazing. I'm just through all those old timers. Rob Conway. I have great matches. Love Rob Conway.
He's a great guy.
And it's just good. Terry Funk. Oh, again, sorry.
30 years in the business, and you still have the love for it.
Oh, I do.
You still have that drive. I mean, you're in here with these young cats, and you're going. You're going. What do you feel about this tag team that you're involved with Rick Cannon here?
Oh, I like Rick Cannon. It actually, first time we were working together was at these shows, and it just gelled really well. We have a very complimentary way we do work, and it just seems to be working, and it'll just get better every time. And I like that. I like that feel. Some of the young guys, some of the older guys. And I truly think, honest, I never drank, I never did, I never smoked, do drugs, and it was always, I think it helped me. Sure. Even though I was never one of the muscular guys, I was always in really good shape.
Sure.
And I still keep in pretty good shape. I wish I was in better shape, but don't we all?
Well, I mean, we're no spring chickens.
There you go. It's harder.
So listen, this is the part of the show where we shoot it straight. I'm going to throw 5 names at you, and it's a word association, a name association. And I just want to know the one word that comes to your mind when I say these 5 names. Are you ready?
Fire away, boss.
Okay, here we go. Mohammed Saad.
Love Muhammad. Love him. I'm sorry. Sometimes it takes me more than one word. I ramble a bit. But Muhammad, I wrestled him a bunch when I first started. And greatest thing for him, he wants me to have a good comeback. He goes, just drop kick. Could I do it? No, drop kick. Andy, drop kick. You do drop kick. I love drop kick. You just drop kick, nothing else. Drop kick. I've done 100 drop kicks in a match with him because that's the only offense he'd allow.
Great Wojo.
Wojo, absolute, a wonderful guy. Love Woj too. just absolute shooter. He's beyond shooter. He's not shooter. He's a hooker. So when we get there, there's worker, shooter. He's a hooker. He's someone that will take someone who's a super tough guy and just tie him into a knot. Wojo's brutally tough and ungodly nice.
Chris Carter.
Love Chris too. Chris would get mad. He used to screw with me when I was first starting because I was the new guy, and Graham wouldn't let him. And it upset him because he was Graham's boy, damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then I became Graham's boy. So, but no, Chris was always awesome at helping with the selling and how to get that tag if we're in a tag match. Otherwise, or selling and when to get that comeback.
Bruiser Bedlam.
Oh, I love Johnny. Oh, I'm sorry, Bruiser. Yeah, I love Johnny. Hey, baby, how you doing? Oh, my God, baby. Oh. Let me wrestle fish, baby. I'll drop the belt to him tonight. I love Andy, come on. I'm going to find one. I'm going to find you. Andy, I love Andy.
Wasn't he a great guy?
I know he had some issues, but Johnny one time, we're riding after an MTW show.
Sure.
And Jimmy's like, Andy, baby. I'm like, dude, we've been in a car for an hour. Can you relax? He's like, Andy, baby, I'm telling you. Let's go to Pizza Hut. We'll cut the phone lines. What the fuck are they gonna do? I'm like, how about if we just get pizza and something to eat, man? It's okay. Oh, I love Johnny. Yes, to death. I do.
Finally, Rudy Hill.
Rudy, so I get asked that. I call him the genuine vato, baby. I go, I know, I don't mean nothing. I love Rudy. We've been friends for 30 years.
Yes.
And it's always a pleasure. I love, and again, I know word association, you want one word, but sometimes one word doesn't do. I love being here with you. I love the fact that I get to come back to International Big Time Wrestling because I've done 5-6 spots. I just never did anything regular.
That's right.
And at this stage, I look at it, I hope, I consider it kind of, and I don't mean nothing, I'm definitely not saying I'm in this guy's class. I see it as a Terry Funk at ECW type situation.
There you go.
I get a chance, I get to have some great matches with some guys, and maybe I can bring them along a little bit as we go. And so I'm excited about the prospect, and I'm glad to be here.
Andy Shane, thank you so much for shooting it straight with us. Once again, we will be right back with more International Big Time Wrestling. Don't you dare go nowhere. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Andy Shane's no stranger to me, that's for sure.
And Andy Shane is a tremendous force to be reckoned with. Believe me.
Things are about to change in International Big Time Wrestling.
He has taken old school Rick Cannon under his wing, and that means trouble, especially at the moment for Jorge Bravo and Kip Rude.
Attention, all small businesses and entrepreneurs. Are you ready to take your company to the next level? Here is your chance to advertise your business or products under the lights of international big-time wrestling scene worldwide. For more information, call 313-675-3367. Let's take your company big time.
Tune in next week for more International Big Time Wrestling on The Fix.
If you've enjoyed this video from RoX-TV.com, make sure you follow RoX-TV on Facebook and YouTube. If it's underground, we're there.